Well, welcome everyone, and great little history lesson there. Maybe a test afterwards, I don't know. So, Mark, you want me to open it first or talk a little bit about?
You can talk first, that's right.
Okay. So, what I did bring, and it's up to the Historical Society what they want to do, I thought they might want to put a few new things in there. So, I brought a pretend hockey puck. Now, the significance of a hockey puck is the new City Hall is located on the former site of Columbia Arena, right? So they wanted to commemorate some of the history of Columbia Arena. In fact, there is a piece of public art in City Hall. It's a long, tall item, and it says incomparable. And that word is made from the letters from Columbia Arena, which were those big metal letters that were lighted up for many years on top of the outside of the building. So they did have to cheat a little bit, and one letter wasn't in Columbia Arena, and to get incomparable, they had to manufacture one, and you can't tell the difference, quite frankly, so somebody did a good job. So there is some art available. Anyways, that's what this is, to commemorate the history of Columbia Arena, as we probably all are aware of. I also took the liberty of having a picture of the current city council that might bear some interest 25 years later. And I put in, this is the current Fridley newsletter that everybody's supposed to get this by mail once every 2 months. And this current issue talks about things that are currently going on. There's the schedule of 49er days, which is starting today. And they're also, at my interest, you know, most of you probably know by now that I'm not running for re-election, and after the end of this year I'm going to be retiring as your mayor. But that doesn't mean as one door closes, another one opens. And in this article it talks a little bit about the Fridley Art Initiative gaining ground. I have already applied for an IRS Foundation designation, and we already have in hand an anonymous donor for $100,000 to put money into that foundation, because, you know, quite frankly, if you're going to have public art, that isn't cheap, and you know, nothing happens without money. So the foundation's purpose will be to raise significant funds to hopefully have numerous art pieces in Fridley over some time. There's plenty of places for it, and we have actually established I've got a board of 7 people for this foundation once it gets IRS designation, and also we have formed a new commission for the city, and that is the Fridley Public Arts Commission. So we now have a 6th commission of 7 members for that. Their job will be to advise the city council on what the council ultimately will approve, locations, and what type of art that they're going to allow, and that type of stuff. So, in any regard, I thought there would be some interest on some of those pieces that might be opened up. I can tell you that just a little bit about myself. This was my safe at one time. 25 years ago, I donated because I knew that the Historical Society didn't really have money for, you know, time capsules are expensive, you know, hermetically sealed and all that kind of stuff. Well, this isn't quite that great, but hopefully it worked and nothing's disintegrated in it. So it was kind of interesting. That was even before I was mayor. This is my 24th year, and I have loved the job, quite frankly. Yeah, don't ask me why. The best excuse I give people, and they say, who would want that job, and why are you crazy enough to do it? And I said, I'm living hell now, so I know I'm going to heaven. So that's the best thing I could come up with. So, but it's been enjoyable. It's not always fun because, you know, you don't meet the happy people. They're happy, so they don't call and say, hey, we're happy, thanks, Mayor. So I hear from a lot of the people that aren't happy, but that's part of the job. It goes with the territory. I've rather enjoyed it. I can be known as a bulldog sometimes. If I think somebody's right, they've been wronged, I'm tenacious and I'll fight for it. If I tell them, if I don't agree with them, I tell them that too. So I think most people just prefer to be transparent, be open, be honest, and, you know, although I get accused of being on the take at time to time, but that's for another story and another day. But anyways, with that, I'm going to open the safe. I don't know the combination offhand, so I'll need some assistance. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. You don't want to give this up to anybody.
I assume this chair might be easier to
Yeah.
get back.
Yeah, I hope it works. I haven't opened it in 25 plus years, so bear with me. You can read this. I'm gonna make sure it's clear. I'm sure I'm going around the right amount of times here.
That's part of the history, is using an actual lock like that.
I'm getting there. Hang with me. Yes. Actually, I'm surprised and impressed at myself that it opened on the first one. Mark, do you want to help me with pulling some of this stuff out of here? Looks like we got a lot of leftover buttons that didn't sell.
Yeah, look at that. All right. From 1999, we have a bunch of 30-year buttons.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 25. Right? All those didn't sell?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
on people.
Jeez.
Okay, what do we got here? Some paraphernalia from Jan cleansing from the bank.
All right, from Northwest Bank.
This is my son's favorite place that closed up. It was a very bad day for him. Old Country Buffet. You know, young kids, they like, instant gratification with food right there, all you can eat, lots of desserts. He hated it when they
Can't
closed.
see that.
Sure, sit down there.
No, I'd be in your way.
This must be something from back Star Wars.
Star Wars, all
Must be
right.
from what, McDonald's or something?
Taco Bell. Yeah.
Okay, there you go, Taco Bell.
Oh, happy birthday, Fridley song from the Kids Key Club.
All right, might have to play that later on. Library kids are cool. From the library. Envelope something in there. Here's the royalty from back there. I can pass this around. The old float that we haven't used in the last half a dozen years, but
And the envelope was a sandburr.
nice.
Wow.
Friendly flower.
Lots of books.
Lots of books, yeah.
Oh, there's my library card. Here is our community education program from back
Yeah.
then. This is the movies that were playing back there, Matrix. I think this is the original one.
That's from 1999.
One Man's Full Life. This is Earl Bakken, founder of Medtronics. You folks know the history of Medtronics? Started out of a garage in Columbia Heights. Earl Bakken's home at the time. He made the first pacemaker. The first pacemaker didn't go in your body. It was sat on a nightstand, and it was a piece of equipment, so you really couldn't move around with it. So it's come a long ways over the years with a implantable device and stuff. I had the great fortune, about a dozen years ago or so, when I was never been to Hawaii. I took my wife to Hawaii, and I was the mayor then, and I called up Medtronics. They said, yeah, call his secretary out in Hawaii, because he lives in Hawaii, the big main island. And it was the easiest thing. I called her up, she answered the phone. Nowadays, you got to text anybody if you want to get a hold of anybody, right? And she said, yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays, he accepts people in there. So we went out there, and I was told that, you know, he's a pretty introverted gentleman, so it's tough to carry a conversation. I told my wife we'll be lucky to be here for half an hour. We were there for 3.5 hours. That guy is very passionate, and he's got a lot going on in his life. So he did most of the talking, which maybe some of you might think is a little unusual for me. But he has a bucket list, and I mean, he's got it in a bound book. All the things that he's accomplished, the things he's working on, and all the stuff he has yet to do. And I did make comment, you know, you're not getting any younger. You better get going on some of that stuff you haven't started. But he's passed away now. But was a great gentleman to talk with, and gave me a tour of the hospital that he actually founded out on the Big Island. Pretty interesting guy. So it was one of the highlights of my trip by any means. So